A 17-year-old kid just obliterated the 100-meter dash like no one has before. Tate Taylor, with every stride eating up the track, shattered a national record and left the crowd in stunned silence, except for the roar that followed. How did this junior sprinter, only halfway through his high school career, make history in a race where the stakes couldn't have been higher? The atmosphere at Mike A. Myers Stadium in Texas could only be described as electric. The stands were packed with fans, some waving flags, others standing up and eagerly leaning forward, waiting for the race of the year to unfold. Everyone knew something big was coming. It wasn't just another race. It was the race. The 2025 Texas UIL 6A State Championships had all the makings of a showdown for the ages. The heat of the Texas sun beamed down on the track, making the tension in the air feel even thicker. People were buzzing about the rivalry between two of the fastest athletes in the country, Tate Taylor and Braden Williams. The entire stadium was holding its breath, waiting for the gunshot that would start a historic moment. On one side, Tate Taylor stood tall and focused, his eyes locked on the finish line, his mind racing through the steps he had perfected over years of hard training. He was ready. On the other side, Braden Williams, wearing his Duncanville red, looked just as locked in. Both athletes were at the peak of their abilities, and the crowd could feel it. This wasn't just a regular race, it was personal. Tate and Braden had crossed paths many times before, but today felt different. The stakes were higher, the atmosphere more intense, and the rivalry between the two had grown stronger with each race. The moment the starting gun cracked through the air, Tate Taylor shot off the blocks with explosive power. His legs, like pistons, powered him forward, each stride eating up the track beneath him. It was as though he had tapped into some extra gear, moving with the precision of a sprinter who had honed his craft over countless hours of practice. He was in his zone, arms pumping in rhythm, eyes locked on the finish line just 100 meters ahead. The crowd went wild, and you could almost feel the energy radiating from the stands as Tate surged ahead. But Braden Williams, the Duncanville Dynamo, wasn't about to let Tate take off without a fight. In the blink of an eye, Braden was right there, closing the gap with impressive speed. As the two athletes hit the first 30 meters, it was already clear that this wasn't going to be a walk in the park for either of them. Braden's strength and drive were unmistakable, and he quickly matched Tate's pace. The race had turned into a true battle of the Titans. As they approached the final 30 meters, it was clear that the finish would be one for the history books. Tate Taylor, having led for most of the race, wasn't backing down. But Braden Williams, never one to let up, surged forward in a last-ditch effort to steal the win. The crowd was in a frenzy, not knowing who would cross the finish line first. The tension was palpable. There was no telling how this one would end. And then it happened. Tate crossed the finish line in a blazing 9.92 seconds, and the stadium erupted in disbelief. The time wasn't just impressive, it was historic. With a legal wind of 1.1 meters per second, Tate had broken the national high school 100-meter record. It wasn't just a win, it was a moment that would be remembered for years to come. Braden Williams, having pushed Tate to his limit, finished just a heartbeat behind at 10:01 seconds. It was an impressive run, but on this day, it wasn't enough to dethrone Tate. As the clock flashed, the commentator's voice cracked with excitement. 9.92, they shouted, barely able to contain their disbelief. For everyone watching, it was clear this was more than just a race.
Junior from Northside Harlem, in lane 5, the senior from Duncanville, Braden Williams. In lane 6, Dylan Mitchell, a freshman from Children's.
When you think about the world of high school sprinting, one of the most thrilling rivalries in recent years has been between Tate Taylor and Braden Williams. This isn't just about two kids trying to outrun each other. It's a fierce but respectful battle that's played out on tracks across the country. They've been pushing each other for years. Each time they race, both of them get better. It's not just about the medals and the records. It's about something deeper. The drive to be the best. Tate has always been the first to admit that Braden isn't just a competitor. He's a catalyst. Every time Tate lines up next to Braden, He knows he has to bring his A game. And Braden, for his part, knows the same thing. These two have met time and time again, each race sharper and more thrilling than the last. But even in the heat of competition, there's a level of respect between them that stands out. After his record-breaking 100-meter performance, Tate made sure to speak highly of Braden, acknowledging the rivalry they've shared. He wasn't just focused on the win, he was focused on the journey they've both gone through. Tate doesn't view Braden as just someone standing in the way of victory. He views him as a fellow athlete who has helped him get to where he is today. Their rivalry has never been one of bitterness, but rather a shared understanding that each race is an opportunity to elevate each other. Even after that electrifying win in the 100-meter, Tate Taylor wasn't done. The 200-meter final came just hours later, and Tate wasn't about to let up. In fact, he proved that he's not just a one-trick pony. He stormed through the 200 meters, leaving competitors in his dust and securing a spot as the number 3 fastest high school athlete of all time. It wasn't just the time that was impressive. It was the way he did it. After setting the national 100-meter record, it would have been easy for anyone to fall off or feel overwhelmed by the pressure. But Tate didn't. Instead, he embraced the moment and ran like he had something to prove, not to others, but to himself. His performance wasn't just about breaking records. It was about reinforcing his place as one of the top sprinters in the country. And to top it off, Tate wasn't even done with his high school career. The best was yet to come. In the midst of all these achievements, Tate's attitude remains grounded. Despite having one of the fastest times in history, he isn't letting it go to his head. After his victories, he reflected on the importance of staying humble. For him, it's never been just about the glory or the titles. His focus has always been on the process, the work that goes into every race, every training session, every hour spent getting better. He's also focused on having fun, keeping the joy in the sport even as his success grows. In an era where athletes can sometimes get caught up in the pressure to perform, Tate's mindset is a refreshing reminder that success doesn't have to mean losing yourself. Tate Taylor's 9.92-second performance in the 100-meter race was nothing short of extraordinary. When he crossed the finish line, breaking the national high school record, the crowd erupted in disbelief and excitement. It wasn't just a personal victory for Tate. It was a moment that would go down in history. His time of 9.92 seconds not only secured him the state championship, but also made him the second fastest U20 sprinter in the world. This race wasn't just about the gold medal. It was about redefining what was possible in high school sprinting. The 9.93-second record, which had stood for so long, was no longer safe. Tate had shattered it with a speed that many thought was unreachable for a high school athlete. It was a moment of pure brilliance, showing that hard work and dedication can lead to incredible achievements. What made this performance even more remarkable was the competition Tate faced. Braden Williams, the runner from Duncanville, had also posted an impressive time earlier in the season with a 9.82-second run. His time was wind-aided, but it showed that Braden was not only a worthy competitor, but one of the fastest athletes to ever run the 100 meters at the high school level. In the race, Braden crossed the finish line just 0.09 seconds behind Tate with a time of 10.01 seconds, securing second place. That's an impressive feat in itself, but it also highlighted how rare it is to see two athletes running at such high levels of competition. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.